So you want to learn how to sell on eBay. Well, I've had a lot of people asking me, how do I sell on eBay? What is it that I need to do? And it's like, tell you what, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to put it out there for everyone because I know there's got to be other people wanting to know the same thing. Because most of the people that I know already know how to sell on eBay, but there are a few people out there asking, how do I do it? It's like, well, when I got started, I've read everything that there was to know about how to sell on eBay, and I didn't need to know 95% of that information. It took me about 3 or 4 hours to read all of that, so I'm going to save you all that time. So I'm going to go through, this is what I do. There are a lot of different ways to do it. Some people like to list with their phone. Some like to list with their laptop and take pictures with their screen. I personally don't. I like a computer and I like having a camera. Like a completely separate camera, not the camera on my phone. You can do it if you don't have a good camera, but personally, I like having a physical camera and I find I get better pictures out of it. So this is going to take me a few days, so I'm probably going to change clothes a few times on this. So I'm going to be showing you a few different things that I have and what I use. So, all right, we're going to start with what I got sitting right over here. All right, so what I've got going on right here is I'm listing some clothing. I've got a t-shirt on my mannequin. You don't have to have a mannequin. You can just lay it out flat on the floor. Just make sure that your floor and your background and everything is clean. I like to have extra lights, and that way it tries to help cut out some of that extra shadows. Now, oddly enough, it shows a whole lot on this video that I've got extra shadows there, but it doesn't show quite as bad on the actual camera. There's my camera. Now, you can use floor lights, you can use umbrella lights that photographers use. Personally, I'm a cheapskate, so I'll just use the floor lamps that I've got lying around, and I've got the overhead light of my fan there just for a little bit extra. You don't want too much natural light. Too much natural light can actually kill your photos. I've recently moved and I'm waiting on my wife to get the curtains going, the blackout curtains, so that I can actually do this all day instead of just at night. So it's good to have a clean backdrop going. And for those of you who are really curious, when I was getting started, I used the camera that I had, and after a while it just kind of died. And I was doing actually really well with it, and so I bought one of the top of the line cameras. This one actually cost me about $350 when I bought it brand new. Now, you can actually buy this thing for like 60 bucks on Amazon. But, alright, so this is what I've got right now. Just take your pictures, show any flaws of clothing that you have. If you don't do clothing, I'll keep going and there'll be more. Take all sides. There's something on the back. Hang on once. How I set up a shirt when I'm showing the tag. Like that way they can get a good look at the tag. Even if the tag is ripped out, like an old paper tag that hangs out there, and it's ripped out, I'll at least take a picture showing that it's ripped out and guess at what the measurement is, or what the size is, just by the measurements. After you've been doing this a while, you'll get the hang of it. And that was just the shirt that I had hanging by. So, alright, so here we go. Alright, I've moved my desk so that I can do this for you. This is what I go through when I'm doing pictures for clothing. It's like I figure at least do one live for you. I think I'll take a good shot from there. Anything extra, I crop out, and you can do it either on your computer or you can do it in the eBay settings for your pictures. I think I'll take a good picture of the whole thing, then I'll zoom into the actual graphic if there's anything graphic on it. there's anything on the sleeves, try to get a picture of what's on the sleeves. That. I'll take the shirt off. And then get a good picture of the tag. You can get your fingers in there if you want. You don't have to. Some people are really sketchy about it. Me personally, it doesn't bother me. I think it lets people see that, yes, you are a real person.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
That way you can show, hey, I got a finger. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to, but come on. Sometimes you just can't get the shot quite right, or that tag's trying to stick straight up and you got to hold it down. So you never know. But all right, so that's how I do t-shirts. I got a whole stack of them over here that I'm going to be going through, and then we'll get on to items. So all right, that's the end for this little bit. All right, so now let's say you do electronics. You're going after you've fully tested them, make sure you clean them up, because sometimes there's going to be some, let's see if I can see these spots of, here we go, this and some goo right here. That's a little bit sticky right there. You're going to have those spots. Make sure you clean them up. Like, buyers don't want to get stuff that's sticky or gooey. Works really well. Only takes a moment. And just because I knew I didn't get this yet, the sticker. How much I paid for it and where. Always peel that off. I accidentally left it on once. Buyer wasn't happy. They paid $50 for a DVD on eBay to find out I paid $3 at Goodwill. They weren't too thrilled. So yeah, remember to take them off. And it's taking a little longer than I thought it would. But you get that. It's always handy to have rubber bands. Rubber band your cords. That way it looks more professional. Especially in your pictures. You don't have this giant cord all over the place. It's like I've never been one to be able to tie the cord off and make it look all nice and pretty. And there we go, that should do. That'll hold in place for a while. Alright. Alright, so I've already got my pictures of this thing, but I at least wanted to point out, if you're going to do electronics, at least make sure you get a nice, clear picture of the model number and the serial number. You want to make sure that if they're, to avoid any possible returns, that you have a clear picture of the model number and serial number. In the off chance that somebody's trying to scam you, they'll send back this item that doesn't work, and it's not the item that you sold, and you should be covered by eBay protection on that. Just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out for you. Alright, just because I wanted to point this out, it's good to have your backdrop cleaned off if you see little spots like this. Lint roller. Works really well. Wipe it up. Got all the lint, and you should be good to go. It's always good to have a nice clean backdrop. It looks more professional. Alright guys, so now let's say you do kitchen appliances. Check to see if your motor works. If it works, then you can sell the motor itself as well. If it doesn't work, you're going to need the motor just for the model number that's on there, so that when you actually do the listings, then you can list all the parts and just attach the model number to it. And it's always a good idea to clean up all of your parts as good as you can. If you need to run them through the dishwasher, run them through the dishwasher. Sometimes you're going to have a hard time with those water spots, but I was able to get all that little bit of crud out of there. Yay. I couldn't get this any cleaner than this, but I'm not going to waste too much time into it. It's probably like a $20 motor. But just had to share. Make sure you can get them cleaned up. If you just want to use a baby wipe across them all, Clorox wipe, run them through your dishwasher, however you feel comfortable cleaning them, then that's how you do them. Alright, on to the next spot. Alright, so here we go. Now, I'm going to assume that you've already at least done the basics of setting up your eBay account. Make sure that you set up your PayPal account. Make sure you set up your PayPal account. People have told me they didn't do it and they never got paid. Well, you didn't get paid because you didn't finish setting up your PayPal account. Go do that right now and it should still be in limbo, but then as soon as it's set up, it should come right through. Alright. Want to at least get a couple things out first. If you are a brand new seller, never sold anything on eBay before, you will have hardcore limitations. Each brand new account is different. I think the most you're going to be able to do at best case scenario is 10 items a month. And if I'm correct, no more than $500 a month. That's just a start. They loosen up. They want to make sure that you are a real person, that you are going to ship items out the door to the customers. And when the item sells, you're not going to have access to the money right away. In order to get access to the money for what you sold faster, you need to upload tracking information. Because if you don't do that, it'll be, I think it's like 28 days before you will get access to the money for what you sold. If you upload tracking information, it will be available 3 days after the item has been delivered. We'll go over that. I will show you how to print off your shipping labels so that you will automatically get free tracking and your money will be accessed to you faster. So, I hope I don't have kids trying to barge in on me. I told them I'm going to be doing this, so if they interrupt, I'll say right now, I'm sorry. Alright, so I do a lot of kitchen appliance parts, VCRs, electronics, and t-shirts. Those are my top items. I do other items as well, but those are my top items. I do have more than one eBay account. Yes, I am a top-rated plus power seller. So I wanted to get that out there so that, yes, you know I am a real person doing this full-time if you haven't seen my other videos. Get yourself a cup of coffee. You're going to want it, especially if you're going to actually try and take this to a business level. If you don't have a manual for your parts to at least say, hey, this part is this part, and you can't find what you're looking for on eBay, there are websites that you can get your parts listing. It's like it'll list all the parts online. You can find the manuals online. It's actually pretty easy. Just go to Google. You should be able to find them. They're real easy. Alright, so here we go. I'm probably going to have to cut out a few times doing this, but I'm at least going to show you. And that's just always painful. Alright, so at least to give you a rough idea, if you need Oops, wrong one. Where is... here we go. Manuals lib. It will take you, if you're looking up parts, just come here. This is the one that I have found that you can find most of your manuals for almost anything. If they don't have it, then it can get tricky, but you should still be able to find something. All right, there was that. All right, I'm not hiding. This is my account. All right, we're going to start with a VCR that I have. All right, typing with one hand and looking at this. It is a Toshiba model number M-635. I haven't looked this up in a while. It actually kind of got missed when I was moving, because I moved recently, and well, it never got listed. And kind of sat on the back burner until we got settled. All right, I always look at price plus shipping lowest first when I'm looking up items, but then I also personally, when you are a top rated plus power seller, I list them at the highest price that they are actively selling. This is what is active right now. 10 listings. They start off with remotes, and then they get into VCRs. This is the VCR I have. All right, that's just active. If you want to see what they're going for, look at completed. You're going to see completed listings and sold listings. Sold will come up in green. So the remote is a pretty decent sell-through rate. VCR looks like it's about a $20, $30 VCR. If you have the remote, $40, $50. I will probably list this at $20 plus calculated shipping, and we will get into that. I'm going to move that right there. Click the sell button. And it's saying sign in. I don't know why. It's like I just restarted and signed in. Alright. Create listing. Single listing. Don't worry about multiple listings. That just gets complicated. So single listing. That's how I do it. You could click on one of these and then click sell similar. Personally, I don't worry about that. I like to do my own. Okay. -5. Pick the category. It will help people find it. It is creating a very rough draft. All right. VCR. Take a quick gander. We got. Does it tell me how many heads this VCR has? 4-head hi-fi stereo. And because you want to use as much of your title as possible. A lot of people do not look at your description. They will just shop by title. They will look at the title. They will look at your pictures. It's like I will put in the title, no remote. Trust me, if you're selling electronics and you are selling a VCR that doesn't have a remote, put that in the title. I had somebody actually buy a VCR off of me, and I didn't have it in the title, but I had it in the description and there was no remote. She didn't read that. She wanted to return it, and then opened up a case against me on eBay, and it just came to a great ordeal. So, player, recorder, no remote. And sometimes I'm going to add a little design, a little squiggle. It's right next to the one. Just hit shift and that little squiggle sign makes it look all pretty. Alright, store category. If you have a store, then that's different. But most of you probably aren't going to have a store. Don't worry about this. UPC does not apply. I do that to almost everything because everything you are selling is used. Don't worry about that. I don't know why it's saying condition is not applicable because, well, it's used and it's supposed to give me that option. Alright. I just uploaded a whole bunch of pictures all at once, so bear with me on this. I will show you how to fix that. Don't worry, I'm not going to list all these t-shirts with you. Let that upload. While that is working at it, copy your title. This is how I do it. I'm going to pull up, we'll say this. While that's loading, playable media will tell me different options. Come on. There we go. VHS, model number M-635. Number of heads, 4. Manufacturer's part number, I still put the model number there just to help bring it out. The time I do it without the dash. This is where I like to do advanced editing when I'm typing up my description. And I only do that for one thing. The size. Your font size. People like to see larger. I don't like doing 14. 36 is too much. 24 I find is the good size. Why can I not type right now? Up for sale is my title. Now, I come over here. This is my listing. I copy off of my own listings. This is what I copy. If you want to pause the video and type this out for your own listings, feel free. I'm not going to have any issues with that. If you're having a hard time or you want me to hear you, if you want to hear me say it, feel free to ask any questions. Thank you in advance for your purchase. If you feel your shopping experience is less than 5-star, please contact us before leaving feedback and give us the chance to make things right. eBay will use the star rating to determine our fees and our visibility in these search results. We strive to earn a 5-star feedback from you. I don't know why, but ever since I put this in every single one of my listings, I haven't had a single problem. Like, I've had a few people giving me issues before, but now I don't. I paste it here. Now, it's not going to go for as much as I thought it would, but that's all right. If you're going to accept best offer, make sure that you automatically decline those lowball offers you're going to get. Because you're going to have people give you lowball offers on items. Make sure you accept PayPal. That is the only way I take payments. Do not take money orders. Do not take cash in the mail. Do not take checks. Require immediate payment with buy it now. Yes, if you do not click that, you will have issues. Sometimes you will have to double check that box is checked, because sometimes it will take it out and you need to make sure it's checked. I still have issues with that. Alright, I always double check everything as I'm going through. Like after I've got the bulk of everything, go back through. Alright. Hit that little button right there. That allows you to crop. Crop it where you think it looks nice. And that looks a whole lot better than having my wooden desk down there. I take a picture of the top so that people can see around that. If there's any cosmetic flaws, I will still put there's being a used item that there is cosmetic flaws. No, I'm not done with my description. That's like the one thing I always forget to do until about this point. There's a rubber band for the cord. Take a picture of the back. Don't need to edit too much right here, but it's usually a good. Come on. Hit it again sometimes. And I actually got nice and clear on that. I don't need to edit that at all. And there's an extra space there. That was not where it needed to be. Oh, come on. Oop, wrong button. Always double check. You don't have to accept returns, but for someone like me at my level to be a top rated plus power seller, you have to accept returns and you have to have 30 days selected in order to get your top rated plus seller badge on your listing. If you're going for that, it'll make your listings easier to be found. Have your own return policy. I have a 10% restocking fee. I've only had to do it a few times. Alright, you have to edit this on almost every listing, especially for those heavier items. Calculated. Now I'm going to stop here for a moment and I'm going to show you what I do. Alright, here's my VCR. I keep that in my lap while I'm doing it. Get your scale. Let it load up. By itself, this thing weighs 6 pounds, 11 ounces. I'm going to round up. I'm going to round up because you're going to have your box, your packing material. That's going to have weight at about 3 pounds. So we'll say 9 pounds. Now, let's wait, double check that. Just play it safe. Always play it safe. 6, almost 7. Yeah. We'll say 10 pounds. All right. So back to calculated shipping. Calculate your shipping. It'll come up with this, your shipping calculator. Large package. Irregular size because, honestly, I get a lot of my boxes for free from dumpsters. You never know what kind of box you're going to get. 10 pounds. Sometimes you'll be able to edit that. Your zip code. That's not my zip code, but that was like the zip code that I was living at when I first started really selling on eBay, and I can't change it. I don't know why. I've changed it everywhere else, but not here. Leave it at domestic. Don't change it to international. Just leave it there. Calculate shipping. I'm going to tell you a couple tricks. In-store rates. Leave it there. You can put online if you want. That's going to edit your priority mail prices. I leave it at in-store rates. You're going to have enough fees. Sometimes you're going to estimate wrong. And this will at least help balance out. Maybe it's only like an extra $1, but it'll be at least be a little something to try and help out. Always select, me personally, parcel select ground. That is the first option I select. And I'm going to tell you why. That's what they see first. That's what they're going to select as their shipping cost. Your other options, which are also probably cheaper, depends on where it's going, because they have in different areas how much it's going to cost in those areas. This is not something I can ship media mail, so I can't select that, even though that's all it would cost. USPS retail ground or priority mail. Now, those are the 3 options that you select. You can select more, but I usually leave it there because this is not going to fit into a flat rate box. Most of the time, you're going to be able to ship at priority mail cheaper than these 2. Always leave it as an option because once in a blue moon, somebody's going to select priority mail, but it's probably only going to cost you $29.33 to ship. They are paying $33.05, and that's if I got my weight correct. Now, if you get your box all boxed up and you're going to print your shipping label, check how much it's going to ship with FedEx. There is an option. I don't know if I can show you how to do that without showing you through what my customer's information will be. I wish I could show you that one. It's actually not that hard. And it will, most of the time, it's cheaper, especially for those heavier items. It'd be like half that price. If they're paying that, at first, I felt bad charging so much for shipping costs, and they paid it, but it cost me like half that price. Don't feel bad. They paid it willingly. There's not going to be an issue. Just don't show how much you actually paid for shipping on your shipping label. There is that option. You can select it or unselect it. Offer your shipping services. Make sure you do not have free shipping selected when you have calculated shipping. Only do that for first class items, and we'll get into that. All right, so double checking. All right, I think we're done. Check one last time. always double check. I got my title. I could get a little bit more in there. I might do that later. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure that I go over this with you nice and thoroughly. There's supposed to be a used option, not a condition not applicable. Make sure that looks good. Got all that in. I'm not worried about type. Double check your description. Half the time people don't read it, but you're going to have people that actually do. So make sure your description is good. And there's what I put at the bottom of every single one of my listings. Just one last time for you to see. I almost exclusively do fixed price. Rarely do I ever do auction. A lot of people nowadays, they see it, they want it now. They're not going to wait for an auction. It has to be a super hot item in order for me to remotely think about doing it as an auction. Got your price, got your automatically decline offers. You can do automatically accept offers of a certain price. Personally, I don't. Just because I want to point out, make sure you have PayPal selected and your email address. Have it required for immediate payment with Buy It Now. You can change your handling time to anything you want. I do this full time. I can have it done in one day. Most of the time, I can do it the same day. But that's just me. Select Sell Internationally with the Global Shipping Program. It has a chance to go outside the US. That'll increase your sales by possibly 10%. No other shipping way. Do not go outside the Global Shipping Program. It will cost an arm and a leg. And with the Global Shipping Program, it will track the item all the way to their door. If you go outside the Global Shipping Program, if you add tracking, it will stop at the U.S. border. So that's where it's at there. And this irregular package size, don't worry about the dimensions. Custom weight, there's my 10 pounds. List item. My item is listed for sale. You want to see it? There it is. Your item is for sale. Some people like to tweet their items. They like to do it on Facebook or put it on Pinterest. I'll put it on Twitter if I'm trying to move it quickly, but that's about it. I find Twitter only really helps with views and possibly an extra Google search. I'm not worried about that. That's the only thing I want it for. It's not really helping with sales. All right, so there's that. So for now, I'm done. I have to go take care of children, and this is going to be only a moment for you. There we go. All right, so this is only going to be a moment for you. It'll be right back in the next video. I gotta go take care of the little ones for a little bit. So, all right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I'm putting my video all together, and it told me I couldn't make this video any longer than an hour, and the next part would end up making this video more than 1 hour. So I'm going to call this part 1, and I'm going to link down in the description that will take you to how to sell on eBay part 2. So here we go.